Welcome to This Week in Warframe, a series where I keep you updated on the past week of Warframe, from announcements made by DE that don't necessarily warrant their own videos to community fan art posts and updates. So without further ado, let's go over these announcements and news from the 11th of February to the 17th. Starting it off, we're going to go through a few updates and hotfixes very briefly, but I did cover a lot of them in their own videos. So if you want to know everything that happened in these hotfixes or updates, check out my recent uploads and watch them there. But to start it off, we had hotfix 22.3. Now this hotfix made some changes to Zephyr and Atlas. For Atlas, they reduced his rubble decay rate by half, which is really good because before it was, wasn't that good. And for Zephyr, they reduced the energy cost of air burst by half while in the air. Now they also increased the speed of the air burst projectile and Zephyr's tornado tracking, so it'll move quicker to where you're looking at. Next up was hotfix 22.12.4. Now this brought some changes to Chroma's Vex armor, which allowed it to work on melee damage, and made a few adjustments to the Hydron stairwell that they added in the mainline update. We also had hotfix 22.12.5, which removed the non-vaulted relics from bounty rewards, and replace them with endo values with 50, 100, 200, 300, and 400 depending on which bounty you're running. Next up was a mainline update with update 22.13. Now this released part 3 of Tennogen round 11 into the game, so we now have that full round and hopefully we get some good stuff in the next round. So you can find out everything you want on the forum post or my individual video on that matter. Now they also added the font rendering shit that I talked about in previous episodes. So you'll see much clearer fonts in-game, the text will be much clearer, but it looks like they've increased the boldness of the text as well, which personally I don't mind because it does look really good, but it's up to personal preference. Now they also added an interactive advanced Plains of Eidolon map, so you can now hold your M button down in the Plains of Eidolon, it'll open, and then you can click on the map and place your marker. There's also a few more things like zooming in and out and dragging the map around with area names and regions and whatnot. But, it's mostly that you can have a map and place a waypoint from wherever you are. Now, after that, there was hotfix 22.13.1, which didn't really do anything besides make adjustments to the Advanced Plains of Eidolon map. There was hotfix 22.13.2, which is a giant one because Teralyst, Gantulyst, and Hydrolyst now drop Arcanes, depending on the way you take them down. So if you capture them, they'll have a different arcane drop table to that of when you kill it. So be wary of the arcane and method that you wish to take. There was also a few more things, but that was the main focus of this hotfix. Now after the hotfixes and updates, we had the Valentines event during the whole last week. So if you didn't get the Valentines color palette, the Eros Arrow skin, the Eros Aura ornaments, then you'll have to wait till next year because it's now over. Now for PS4 and Xbox players, there's a few things for you guys. Specifically for PS4, there's a lot more stuff for you guys. So there's currently an alert running on PS4 where you can get a Braton Obsidian skin just by running an alert. Now this will end on the 20th of February at 2 PM Eastern time, so you should have a couple of hours before that runs out. Now the same thing goes for Xbox One players, but instead of getting a Braton skin, you'll be getting a Jade Excalibur Noggle. Now in relation to this, for PlayStation players, the Renown Pack 7 for PlayStation Plus users will be removed soon based on your current location. So for North and South American players, the Renown Pack 7 will be removed on February 20th, for Europe and Australia, February 21, and for East Asia and Japan, that'll end on March 8th. After that, we had the album cover contest, which I made a video on yesterday, but just to cover it real quick, if you want to have a chance of getting the Mirage Prime Access Pack for free, or for getting some free platinum, just make a breakup song album cover that's related to Warframe, and post it onto the forum thread of the album cover contest. If you want to know everything, watch the video or just read the full forum post. Now for Tennogen players, you guys can now work on your Gara Tennogen, as they have finally added it into the game. We've talked about it a few times here on This Week in Warframe, but it's finally in the game, so players that play Gara now, hopefully you guys see some good Tennogen coming soon or in the next year of the game, because the skins do take a while. Now before we get into community fan art and whatnot, there's a post by D.E. Megan in regards to fan art. So if you want to have a chance at your own Warframe fan art, getting into your orbiter section decoration things, whatever you call them, you can now do so by posting it into this forum thread called Featured Primetime Display Images official thread, and you'll have a chance of getting that featured on prime time, and if they like it, they'll put it up, and then you'll have a chance of that stuff getting in-game for players to use on their Orbiter decorations. So if you're interested in that, make sure you read what's there and do what you want to do. And with that out of the way, we have community fan art for this week. So starting it off, we have a work in progress shot of the Tennogen creator Faven working on his Chroma Graxx. Moving on, we have a fan art post from Fluffyufu of a Warframe Nova Alternate Deluxe skin. He has the default image on DeviantArt, but he also has a full rundown of his idea for this skin on the Warframe forum. It's kind of like an arcadey skin from something like League of Legends with the arcane skins there, how they're all like arcadey and whatnot. So he's posted a few things such as the idle animation that would appear on the helmet, such as the ellipses. When using an ability, it would say the ability name, or just say stand by, and then when you take damage, it would say heavy damage taken and whatnot. So, leave your thoughts on there, read what he has to say in regards to the skin. And moving on from that, we have a few Warframe Doodles by Visorium on DeviantArt as well. We have one with Nova, Valkyrie, Loki, I believe it's Vorben. We have Excalibur, Vault, Mag, Chroma, Nyx, no fucking idea what the last one is there. Oberon, Frost, Trinity, and Necro. So there's some cool little doodles there. Moving on, we have Maze D with Let Me Be Your Valentine with a Mirage fan art. So this is really fucking cool, and it looks sick. Moving on, we have Chroma by Nif Blue Griff. I'm not a fan of the other two posts that he made alongside these, but this Chroma one is probably the best out of the three. So good work in that one if you ever see this video. We also have Warframe Mag by Chocolate Rebel, which looks really good and kind of brings a flashback to the old star chart. We have Period by Slendy Nameko. We have Nezha by Sylphix, which looks really good with that Faven skin. We have Octavia Diva by Kuriosu. And then the final community highlight goes to JT Music with a Warframe rap called A Tenno's Dream. I usually enjoy video game parodies and whatnot. I also like to shit on them, and this one is really good, but still not on par with Noisy Boy. If anyone knows that, then I'd be fucking surprised, because that dude is shit. But anyway, that concludes this week in Warframe. If you think I can improve upon the series in any way, make sure to leave it in a comment down below, as well as any thoughts that you wish to share on the topics that I discussed today. And if you missed out on last week's episode, you can click the annotation on the screen and it'll take you right to it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.